Aloha and welcome, friends. Another quantum questions session. And as everyone is joining, coming on, making their comments, I want to address a question that someone had left this as a preliminary question. And if I put this on the screen, it's going to fill up the whole screen. It's a really long comment. So let me just do this so everyone can see it. If anybody wants to pause and read it, I am going to read it. And as you come on, everybody, Elizabeth, Kim, if you are in if you're in one of my Facebook groups and you're commenting, you're going to see a thing at the bottom of the post that says, give StreamYard permission to show your name. There's no secret here, right? There's nothing hidden about this. This is a public live that I'm doing. In the group, your name is showing. And when I go into the group, I'll be able to communicate with you. But for live, I'm not able to see who's who unless you click that app. If you're on my personal page or my fan page or on YouTube, I can interact with you because I'll be able to see you. So just as an example, Elizabeth is on one of my pages and this person is in one of my groups, and the app there's some kind of a glitch with Facebook. So let me address this, this question that was asked. I'm confused. On the one hand, you say we can't change things by fighting them. We can't do it by fighting against what is, but by tapping into the deepest power and creative energy inside of us to unmake what we've made, to undo the horrors we've brought upon ourselves. And then you post a plea to petition our government not to carry out trace. Isn't that fighting against what is? Okay. So it's a fair question, as fair as if you asked if I was a purple rhinoceros. It would be a fair question, right? And my answer is absolutely not. If somebody walks up to you and slaps you in the face and you say, I don't welcome you slapping me in the face. I prefer that you and I respect each other and our personal space and our bodies. There is no fighting against in that statement. And so by signing a petition that says, I am for this, I'm not for this, I'm not against this, I'm for this. You're not fighting against anything. You're stating your preference clearly to someone who might be involved. All right. And to go one level deeper, I don't normally do this on these lives. These are for quantum questions. I'm going to get into quantum questions in a second. There is no fighting in having a preference. And sometimes when you calm down into your deepest self and you tap into your inner truth, you will be inspired to do something or say something, and to act on that is not fighting against. So you can let me know if that helps. Welcome, Kim in Australia, and hey, Elizabeth, and hey, Jennifer from Dallas. Good to see you. Diane, didn't see it as fighting against, just adding a voice. Absolutely. Hello, Leanne in Australia, and Deborah, who's saying yay, and V in San Diego, and Philemon over in, where were you at? I think you were in a place that surprised me, but for some reason, I don't recall where. Trinidad. That's right. Trinidad. Hey, Colorado, Peter in Belgium. All right. So why don't we get to it? And Steve McKay, hello. Welcome. No, you and I haven't met yet, but here we go. All right. Beautiful. Look at this. Let's all act on that. Let's get some people on here. I don't see any requests for quantum questions, and I don't see anybody dealing with anything. So I'm going to start with that question that I was asked. As you come on, if there's anything you want help with, if there's anything you're struggling with, wrestling with, feeling challenged or threatened by, anything about the news and the headlines and the vaccinations or anything else that in any way is stirring you up and you would like some help, you can type in what it is. I will do quantum questions to help you with it. I'm just going to start with this. Why is it that I woke up and realized I've always been awake? The real me never went to sleep. I simply had tapped into parts of myself that were asleep. I had received programming. I had received fluoride and chlorine and aluminum, mercury. I had received all these things that apparently aren't in the best interest of my physical body. Why did I finally realize that while I'm in a physical body, honoring my physical body is important, perhaps necessary? Why is it that I accept the possibility that I might not transcend the body until I make peace with the body? And I started to love myself, and I started to understand that maybe some of the things that had been done were for my detriment. And I chose to tap into the deepest part of me that cannot be detrimentified. And when I chose presence and I choose deep breath, why did everything begin to change? Aloha, Elaine, Norman, Debbie, Rochelle, it looks like. Aloha, we got South Africa represented today. So why is it that I decided to forget about money and instead to celebrate my abundance? And why is it that when I forgot about money and I quit wrestling with money or counting the money or fretting about the money or the debts or anything, why is it that when I calmed down and I became totally present and I focused on abundance, which is my nature, everything actually began to take care of itself the way I had heard that it could? Why is it that I stay balanced whether others argue or call me delusional? Why did I relax so much that I realized staying balanced while isn't even really a question? The question really is, how do I stay balanced? But even that takes me out of the place that's always naturally balanced. Why did I calm down? Why did I choose to be in the aspect of myself that is balanced and is balanced? Why did I finally admit I have all the tools at my disposal? I have Brian there, I have his book, I have the breath of light, I have the quantum questions. He's showed me how to breathe in the way that brings me back into calm, present, centered in my body. So why did I stop asking how? And why did I just choose to do it? Aloha, Piera. Aloha, Andrea. Great to see you as always. Why did I stop thinking like a spiritual fuck? What does Brian mean by that? Why did I stop hearing everybody in the spiritual realm always talking about giving myself permission and allowing myself? Why did I drop all those needless spiritual complications and just breathe and feel my sensations? And when I did, when I said, what's going on in my body right now? When something happened and I began to feel a little bit upset, and I stopped and I breathed and I said, where do I feel the strongest sensation? And I focused there. Why is it that I stopped trying to figure out how to do that which is my nature in the first place, and I just relaxed and breathed and did it? Each time that I do this, I'm never correcting you. I'm never making fun of you. I'm always reflecting what you're saying back. I don't correct, I reflect. And when I say what I say and I ask these questions, I welcome you giving me feedback on what's different, how you feel, and if there's another wording you want to use that I can help you even more. Okay? How to love my business into my income and network highest potential. I am going to make a wild guess that you did not take, either English is not your first language or you didn't take time to formulate that. And if you do it, I'm going to meet it when you retype it. Aloha, Janine. Why is it that I stopped vacillating, but I didn't try to stop vacillating? Why is it that I got out of the mental dichotomy of get back to work, no work, no work, no work, no work, no work, no work? Why did I just stop right then and just breathe? Why did I realize I've been on these lives with Brian day after day after day and I still haven't listened to him? Why did I stop and download his free book with no obligation to buy anything and no strings? Why did I follow the simple steps in his free book? And when I did, why did I discover that I don't need to think any of this stuff? All I get to do, I get to breathe in a way that supports me, that brings me back to presence, at which point all this illusion that I was complicating in my head, wrestling back, was just a lifelong habit. I dissolved it. And when I did, why did everything change? Why did I find myself at peace? Why did I choose when I didn't know what to do next, when I didn't feel a strong inspiration to take an action? Why did I stop and breathe and focus on presence, knowing that when I do, I am always inspired if there's anything to do next. Why did I stop believing that I attract anything? Why did I finally evolve and step up and out of the illusion and the delusion and the confusion of the so-called law of attraction? Why did I stop beating myself up with, why do I attract this? Why do I attract this? Why do I attract this? How do I keep attracting this? Why did I finally step out of that delusion of thinking, how did I create? And I accepted the possibility that I'm not attracting a damn thing. Why is it that when I let go of the idea that I was attracting these things, I was able to sense they're reflecting something to me? Why is it that this was a catalytic moment for everybody watching the live stream? Why is it that this one question and this one answer of questions could undo the law of attraction prison for millions of people who hear this simple message? Why is it that when I stopped thinking I'm attracting this, how did I attract this? Why did I attract this? Why is it that when I let that filter go of attraction, I was able to simply see what they had been reflecting to me the whole time about my own emotional unavailability to myself? And when I did, and I breathed and I said, I can forgive myself for not being emotionally available. After what I went through, how could I have been emotionally available? And so I began to sit down with my pen and paper, with my heart open, with my mind open, visualizing and imagining the absolute perfect partner for me and what kind of partner I would be if I was with that partner. And I began to be inspired with the feelings that arose. And suddenly I was face to face with the partner I wanted. You're welcome. Why did I stop thinking that networking is tricky? Why is it that in the moment that I stopped deluding myself, telling myself that networking was tricky, and I suddenly began to feel the feelings that I had about networking, and I was able to say, why is it so effortless to network? Why is it that when I dropped the word networking and I tried to stop networking correctly and all I do, why is it that when I let all that shit go, I realized I was connected to people? All I had to do is say, here's what I got. Here's what you got. What can we do? How can we help each other? And when I did, why was it so effortless and magical? And why is it that Andrea shared this? Why is it that Andrea, out of all the clients that I have worked with in the last 9 years, why is it that Andrea is an ideal client for me, representing the type of person that gets the most results from working with me? Why is it that she has actually hired me and come to Hawaii twice to spend the days with me? And why is it that she's flown me to Sarasota, Florida on multiple occasions to work with her, doing one-on-one day after one-on-one day, including dozens of sessions online and joining my group? Why is it that she's been such a phenomenal client for me and me such a phenomenal mentor for her? And why is it that she just gave one of the greatest gifts to anybody that wants to get more out of this free stuff, this magically valuable free stuff, by offering this statement? And why is it that people are reading what she said and going, damn, that actually really makes sense? And why is everyone benefiting? Why is it that up until now, when the sadness came up, I chose to eat or sleep or distract myself? Why did I finally realize I can't fucking try to come into presence? Why did I finally stop deluding myself that I could try to? Can you try to breathe? Can you try to open your eyes? You just fucking do it. So why did I let go of I'm trying to come into presence? And why did I stop and breathe. Why did I finally stop fighting and resisting again and again and again? Brian gave me the breathing videos at the end of chapter 8 in his book, and all I got to do is click the link and go to them. Why is it that I finally had enough of my own excuses and I actually went and watched the breathing videos and I breathed with Brian? And I suddenly was present after a few minutes of that. And suddenly I realized my emotions had been there the whole time, waiting to be felt and loved. And there was no work and no trying involved. I love these. I love these. I love these. It's a big element of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Why is it that I understood that I could think in terms of separation? In fact, I had been thinking in terms of separation. Why did I reflect for a moment and realize that almost every decision I ever make, almost every single thing that I and we ever think and see and do is arising as a reflection of our belief in separation? And why did I realize there's no way to try to get back to oneness? There's no way to figure out oneness. There's no way to, so I stopped. And even though I, for some reason, chose to have to hear Brian say it 52,911 times, that one time I finally heard when he said, the doorway to oneness is through the breath. Why did I reflect for a moment? Why did I slow down my fucking endless mental chatter, for God's sake? Why did I stop and breathe and then stay with the breath? And when I did, why did I find myself experiencing oneness? Why did I discover Brian's Unconditional Happiness group on Facebook that's linked in the post with this video? Why did I click it and go there? And why did I look at the units up on the left side of the page? Since the video is reversed, up on the left side of the page. And I saw, oh my God, with this Breath of Light 2.0. Why did I discover that that was there? 400 hours that Brian put into creating that just for me so that I could experience oneness and begin to live there. And why did everything change? Why did I stop trying to be positive and thinking that my life was better, which keeps me running from worse? Why did I stop all that thinking, even though it looked positive to me? Why did I let it go? And I realized my life's not better. I'm more present and I'm experiencing life more the way I prefer, and that has no judgment in it. And why is it that when I choose presence, if there's anything to do to prepare for anything, I'm always inspired perfectly? And I am so grateful. Andrea, I love you, woman. Phenomenal. Look at this. Boom. Now we're talking. Thank you, Kathy. And this is helping. I am grateful as well. Now, why? Why was today the day that I took the word overwhelmed and I looked at it? Overwhelmed. I'm telling myself that there's something outside of me, apparently bigger than me, that's whelming over me. Why did I actually stop for 1 minute using the word overwhelmed? And I actually looked to see if there was any fucking whelm going on over me. And in the moment of humor and in the moment of crazy power and truth and awareness, I realized there was no whelm over me at all whatsoever. And so being that I realized this, I took the word overwhelmed And I went, and like a daisy with the little seedy things, it just dispersed back into infinite possibilities. The word overwhelm exited my vocabulary. I didn't get rid of it or throw it away. It wasn't bad or wrong or anything like that. I just let it turn back into infinite possibilities. And when I did, and when I let overwhelm disappear, suddenly I realized there's in front of me exactly as much as there is, and I will be present and do the step I'm able to do, and then I'll do the next step that I'm able to do, or stable, which is really great steps that you're able to do. I'm going to call them stables from now on. Why did I suddenly feel peace? And why did I feel such a relief that all I could do was smile and laugh? Talking about Breath of Light 2.0, baby. Have to find myself. You don't have to, because what you can do, Fiona, is slow down and breathe right now and stay with it. Inspiration will always guide, unless we're pushing it away with everything we got, trying to figure out what to do and wishing we were inspired, which blocks our inspiration. And I love you, Elaine, and these reminders. Why is it okay to feel whatever I feel? And why is it that when I finally stopped fighting against my feelings, when I stopped trying to figure out my feelings, when I stopped trying to drink away, movie away, sex away, jerk off away, run away, distract away from any of my feelings, when I stopped trying to get away from my feelings and I actually just chose to be present and feel my feelings, why did I wake up and realize that they had been there all along, leading me to more of what I prefer? My greatest teacher, my greatest gift, which is myself, ultimately. Now, I come on to do 15-minute quantum questions free every day at 11 o'clock. Every day. No matter what else I have going on or what else is important. I'm doing these lives free. These lives give you for free my #1 international bestseller for free with no strings. It gives you the Unconditional Happiness Group. The link is in the post with this video. You click it, you get added to a totally free group with no strings, where some of my highest paid tools that I've worked with clients for years is in there, including stuff that I've put hundreds of hours in that's totally free for you right now as we're going through this trippy situation. I feel inspired to do it. I'm not bragging. I'm doing exactly what I'm doing. I'm saying the truth here. Why is it that though at this very moment that I speak, there are about 50 people, 40 plus on this live, and 31 hearts, thumbs, and interactions showing? Why is it that everybody on here appreciated not only what I was doing and appreciated me and the gift that I'm bringing, such as it is to you? They contemplated all the value and how many people it could help. And they shared it more than any video I've ever done. Everyone agreeing it would be so much more amazing. I mean, this is all perfect. And how much more amazing it would be if instead of 48 people on live right now, there was 48,000 on the next one. And I'm going to, beautiful, Kathy, you got that. I'm going to do one last quantum question thingamajiggy for right now. Okay? 2 came in, so I'm going to do it. First of all, I will never advocate, suggest, or recommend disregarding a feeling under any circumstances. Our feelings, our emotions, and I love you. It's great to see you, by the way. In my book, I explain it in great detail. In many of the videos that I do, I explain it in great detail. On these lives, I'm here to do quantum questions to ask and unmake. Okay? I'm just going to honor this. I know this is the first time you've been on with me. Our feelings, the ones especially that we don't want to feel, anger, sadness, and fear, those feelings are pressed into our cells and soaking in the water in our cells. Every time we had anger, sadness, and fear, every time we were hit or beaten or yelled at or screamed at, every time we stubbed our toe and were told by someone that we were stupid or whatever, physical pain, emotional pain, even mental pain that gave us a shock in those first few years of our lives, from the womb to maybe 13, 14 years of age. They got frozen inside of our cells and our tissues, and they're coming up to be felt. And when we refuse to feel them, when we choke them down, they show up as mean, bad people seemingly out there doing things to us, when in fact there is no out there. There is nothing to fight and nothing to fix. There are feelings to be felt. And when we tune in and we feel all those feelings, the strangest thing happens. The stuff out there actually starts to change. We are infinitely, completely, absolutely. Let me rephrase that. I am infinitely, completely, capably competent of unmaking every nightmare out there by tuning fully in here, because everything out there is a reflection of what's going on in here. I know that's a stretch. I know that's far out for most people. The more, if you just stay curious and you keep looking, it is going to show up for you. I can unmake anything. And when I join elbows with people who take equal total personal responsibility, I accept the possibility that even those things out there that I thought were there for thousands of years before me, I am the one. I am the infinite, unlimited energy. I am either the energy of God or I'm that infinite energy with God. And many of the great seers have throughout time have said, okay, I am the energy that creates, are actually the same. We're one. We're one. No external God running the show. It's internal. And ultimately, not the personality, Brian, I am it. So everything that shows up out there is a reflection of what's going on in here. I'm responsible. That's the roots of Ho'oponopono, A Course in Miracles, and all the pure, unfiltered, non-religious spiritual stuff. So the answer is to feel our feelings completely. And in my book and other places, especially in my book that's free, I show exactly how to do it in great detail. There's no point for me to spend that time doing it right now. So here was the last one that I wanted to touch on. Anybody else grateful that she brought that up? You can thank her for that. This is my last one. Is rejection real? Why is it that I got out of my mental existence for a moment and I calmed down and I breathed? And when I looked at the concept of rejection from presence, all I could do was laugh. When I was in my mind and I believed that people can reject others. They rejected me. My lover rejected me. I want to make sure that I'm polite and don't get rejected. But when I woke up and I breathed and I contemplated rejection, all I could do was laugh and smile. No one and nothing can ever reject me. All they can do is choose to respond with presence and love or react unconsciously to what they think about me. They can't reject me. It's a nonsensical term. And when I realized nothing and no one could ever reject anyone, I checked one last time. Could I reject anyone? Does it even make any sense, the idea I could reject them? No, I could say, no, thank you. I would not like to have a hot dog right now. No, I'm not interested in having sex with you. No, I don't want to go see that movie with you that I don't like. But I'm not rejecting them in any of those circumstances. I'm making a choice that I prefer something other than what they're proposing. And when I did, why did the entire idea of rejection disappear into the laughable, hilarious illusion that it always was? And why did I feel fucking amazing realizing that I can let that completely go out of my universe? In fact, it was never there other than in my mind. And when I let that go, why did everything change? Exactly. I thought I had been rejected. I love you. I am you, and you are me. And that whole we are one thing, it's not a spiritual concept to me. It's not some vague thing to hope for finally reaching to me. And I am here purely reminding you, if you want to be reminded. Much aloha. I will see you tomorrow.